The record, from Wetzler and Vrba, written by the man in 1944 in Žilina, reveals the cruelty of concentration camp in Auschwitz and helped to save thousands of lives. On the 13th of April 1942, a group of 1,000 men left the concentration camp in Sereď and were loaded into wagons. After a long drive, they discovered that they had crossed the Slovak border and arrived in Tvrdony. In Auschwitz, they were separated from each other, lined up, registered, and entered the cruel world of the concentration camp, where they were subjected to brutal procedures and segregation according to colored triangles on their clothes, reflecting different categories of prisoners. The camp is divided into an inner and outer ring of guard posts with factories in between. Escape through these guarded places was practically impossible, with brutal consequences for escaping prisoners.
It was the year 1939. Austria had been annexed by Nazi Germany, and Czechoslovakia was the next target. The Slovak right-wing party, Hlinka Slovak People's Party, headed by Josef Tiso, came to power, and their authoritarian regime was introduced. In order to completely destroy the Czechoslovak Republic, Hitler gave the Slovak politicians an ultimatum. Either Slovakia would become an independent state, or it was to be divided between Hungary, Poland, and Germany. Under pressure, Slovak politicians declared independence. In 1941, the party passed the Jewish Codex, which included strict anti-Semitic laws. These laws aimed to strip Jews of their rights and property. This will make Jews socially dependent on the state, which seemed to be a clever pretext for a deportation. The Codex obliged them to wear the yellow Star of David and forbade them to enter the Aryan stores and restaurants. Hlinka Slovak People's Party, with the help of his own militia, the Hlinka Guard, organized the first deportation of Jews from Slovakia in March 1942 without any order from Germany. Approximately 58,000 Jews were transported. 250 Jewish people were living in Dolný Kubín in 1942. Following the first deportation wave, only 42 remained in the town. Most of the people in Dolný Kubín disagreed with anti-Semitism views, but they couldn't express their disagreement because everyone was afraid for their lives. They couldn't even talk to Jews on the street.
Tibor Spitz, born in 1929 in Dolný Kubín, came from a Jewish family that avoided the first transport to concentration camps in 1942 because their father held a very important position in the area. He buried Jews in Orava region. His parents were informed about the reality of Auschwitz by refugees who bribed the train driver and crossed the border in railway uniforms. After the outbreak of Slovak national uprising in autumn 1944, when a new wave of deportations of Slovak Jews started, the family decided to hide in the forest. They spent 7 months in their tiny hiding place dug in the ground. During that time, they were in danger from the Gestapo and Ukrainian insurgents. On April 4th, villagers who knew about their hiding place came to tell them that Dolný Kubín had been liberated. After the war, Tibor Spitz, the youngest son of Spitz, graduated from college and became an expert in glassmaking. In 1968, he emigrated via Cuba to the USA, where he still lives today.
In his recollections, Tibor Spitz emphasizes that Aryization was based on the Jewish religion and not their race. He also recalls the secret police's investigation on Jewish origins and confiscation of property. The Slovak government later on took away their property, their jobs, and their social opportunities, leading the Jewish community to feel powerless. They were later told they would be sent into settlements in the east, acquire their own state where they would live on until the war came to an end, though they were not informed of their deportations until the very last moment when they would be sent into gas chambers and poisoned. The story of Tibor Spitz and his family serves as a reminder of the horrors of the Holocaust and the importance of recognizing and preserving the memory of the Jews. The Holocaust has left a lasting impact on the Jewish community, highlighting the importance of respecting the experiences of the Jewish community during the war. The building dates back to 1901. The Jewish religious community had it constructed to replace the old synagogue destroyed by a fire in 1893. On November 1, 1990, on a day of reconciliation, then President Václav Havel visited Dolný Kubín and ceremoniously unveiled a memorial plaque for Holocaust victims on the former synagogue building. And after almost 25 years, in 2014, Moses tablets with the Ten Commandments were revealed on the synagogue building to commemorate this event. Before the war, Dolný Kubín had a significant Jewish community with its rabbi, synagogue, cemetery, and school for children. On 21 September 2014, Rabbi Michael Kapustin from Bratislava revealed the stone tablets with the Ten Commandments which were to be reinstalled. In the past, similar stone tablets had been placed on the synagogue, but during the Holocaust they were thrown down and destroyed. The new tablets were made of black marble with gilded letters, reminiscent of the originals. They were crafted by Klieštik stonemasonry from Čadca and funded by sponsor contributions.
History of the Jewish community in Dolný Kubín began in 1720. 50 years later, the first Jewish religious society was born, and up to that, in 1786, Shemriak's Funeral Society was formed. This society rented the land of the current Jewish cemetery from Catholic Church with an area of 4,000 square meters. Nowadays, there are buried personalities of the Jewish community and Jewish culture. The most significant monument is memorial built in 2021 and 2022, consisting of two parts. Lower part is made up from 286 stones. Each stone represents one Jewish citizen who died in a concentration camp. The idea was, everyone deserves their special place. Upper part is created by 165 names of the Jews who died exactly in Auschwitz. We can also mention the name Arnold Peter, who lived in Dolný Kubín since 1903. He was a talented painter, but during Second World War he was deported. We can only assume he didn't make it to the concentration camp. Sadly, his grave or remains were never found.